Cris Pannullo returned for his 20th game on Jeopardy! He won a 19-day total of $666,744, tying him and Jason Zuffranieri, and is now looking to beat their records to tie Jullia Collins. Obligatory thumbs up. Ken Jennings' instruction was, were you watching yesterday? For only the 4th time in his impressive, remarkable 19-game streak, Cris Pannullo went to Final Jeopardy with a lead that was not insurmountable. Luckily for him, he came up with the correct response and now finds himself tied for 7th place on the Jeopardy leaderboard, legend for most consecutive wins. Hang on. Ken Jennings, Amy Schneider, Madden Odio, James Holzhauer, Mateo Roach, Jullia Collins. 7th place at 19 wins. And just last week, Cris was in 7th place for most money won. It's crazy how 19 wins put David Madden in 2nd place back in 2005, and that record stood for almost 9 years until Jullia Collins came along. To continue Ken's preamble, will he become a 20-game champion? Will he become a 20-day champion today and continue to move up in the ranks? Or will it be Josh or Lana heading into the weekend as a new Jeopardy champion?
He got both daily doubles.
Cris got all 3 of the daily doubles. Cris got the first daily double. He made it a true daily double, got it right, and went to $7,200. Lana's anecdote was reading the encyclopedia when she was 7 or 8. She doesn't know the age. Ken asked her if it made her a Jeopardy fan, to which she answered she actually didn't get into Jeopardy until she was in her 20s. Crazy. Meanwhile, Josh's anecdote was he was a Jeopardy fan even before he was born. The Think music would come on, and he would start moving around in the womb. The audience laughed. In Cris' siblings' group chat, instead of saying okay or sending a thumbs up emoji, they'd send a screenshot of Cris doing a thumbs up. Looks like it caught on. There were 2 different questions when Cris and Josh buzzed in and answered wrong, only for Lana to answer correctly. Cris ended the first round winning $12,400. Lana was in 2nd place at $3,800, and Josh was in 3rd place at $2,000. It sounds odd that in Dracula the count says, you will need, after your journey, to refresh yourself by making your this. The answer was making your toilet. A Dracula reference in December? Not the strangest thing ever. By the way, Alex Trebek died on Bram Stoker's birthday, just over a week after Halloween. Spencer only got around to writing 6 of the 12 planned books of this epic poem that he dedicated to Elizabeth I. The answer was obviously, what is the Fairy Queen, which also came up in Ryan Long's 3rd game. Just one question. If Edmund Spencer comes up, will the answer just be Fairy Queen by default? Also, due to unforeseen circumstances, I hope to have this video posted before the anniversary of the day he died. Dante's one true love. She guides him through paradise in the Divine Comedy. The answer was, who is Beatrice? A Dracula and a Dante reference when it's December. Cris got the first daily double on Jeopardy! He wagered $7,000, got it right, and went to $26,200. The date November 18th, 1963 was in the question, and I expected it to be about John F. Kennedy. He got a back-to-back daily double. Ken said, well, look, it's the other daily double. He wagered only $100, got it right, and went to $26,300. And nice Spanish pronunciation. I was almost disappointed when I thought no one would answer the true blue question. Cris ended Double Jeopardy winning $35,900. Lana was in 2nd place at $11,000 even, catching up, and Josh was in 3rd place at $1,200. The Final Jeopardy category was World Capitals. This also came up in Amy Schneider's 5th game. The question was, among its nicknames are the City of Classical Music, and possibly in honor of a famous resident from 1860 to 1938, the City of Dreams. Well, if it's classical music, I'd probably imagine Berlin or Vienna. Who died in 1938? The answer was Vienna. Yes, Sigmund Freud, the famous resident in question. Oh, so it wasn't even about the death of Freud, who wasn't even a composer. Oh, I see. It says famous resident from 1860 to 1938. Didn't say anything about his death, or that being the reason he wasn't a resident anymore. All 3 contestants answered correctly. Cris wagered $8,221 and took his final score to $44,121. He's now at a 20-day total of $710,865. He beat David Madden and Jason Zuffranieri's records. He and Jullia Collins are now tied. The Jeopardy highlights video actually spoiled this because they titled it The Big 2-0. So if fans aren't able to access today's show for whatever reason, they would have already had it spoiled if they're subscribed to the channel, and that's their only way of watching it. By the way, what happened to the Final Jeopardy uploads? I thought they were bringing those back. The Overheard on set was titled, Don't Count on Cris. Ken asked Cris if he'd been trying out for a while. Cris answered, yeah, I've been trying out for, I guess like 5 or 6 years. I had an in-person tryout back in 2017. And this is only my second test call. Ken ends by telling him, just getting on the show is the hard part. Jeopardy also uploaded Cris Pannullo's big 20-day win. Sarah asked how it felt to win 20 games. He answered, it feels bizarre and wonderful at the same time. I never could have imagined it. 5, 10, 15. Every single one of those is an enormous milestone. Every single game. You have two people just coming for you nonstop, and the pressure doesn't ever seem to stop, so 20 games is incredible. Now, when I was first documenting Madden games, I said every 5 games seems to be a milestone. Sarah tells him, to put that into perspective, only 5 players in Jeopardy's history have ever won more consecutive games than you. Cris said, they're all phenomenal players. Ken, James Holtzauer, Amodio, and Amy Schneider. The editor added, and Matea, because of course, winning more than 20 games is impressive and rare. I'm sure he just forgot since he was on the spot, especially since Sarah told him only 5 players have won more and Cris could have done the math wrong. You know the trick question? If you pass someone who's in second place, what place are you in? That could have happened to Cris right then and there. Or maybe I'm overthinking. Sarah asked about Chris's close games. He answered they would have beat him to the buzzer and he would try to get the daily doubles first and bet a lot. Sarah asked Cris about any highlights. He answered beating David Sibley in game 1. I watched him go through 8 other people and I was so intimidated by him. He's a super smart guy, super nice guy, super quick on the buzzer, and just going in and winning that first game, I'll always remember most. Sarah then asked he'll go home that night and watch his episodes before mentioning Ken did the same. Though the way production goes, I think Jason Zuffranieri, Matt Amodio, and Amy Schneider are the only other players to have watched their tapings air while they were still filming in real time. Cris answered is complicated, confusing, and wonderful since he's trying not to speak in past tense. Oh boy, what a way to end the week.
And as always, thank you for watching.